Okay, so I wanted to make a video to show how to make a super strong god rock, like 150, 120 rockets, can be around there if you build it right. I am on intoxicated sandbox just to kind of show you how to build one, because it's one of the only build servers I found that you can actually build in a god rock on. So let's see if we can find a god rock. What you want to do is you want to come into your god rock, and on most god rocks, I think intoxicated use, like, they're kind of weird. They look like older, but you'll have like a skinny part, which is the back of your god rock, and then you have like a more open part on the front. And if you go to the open part on pretty much every single god rock, there can be like a little crack right here. So essentially what you want to do is you want to come to the crack and you want to kind of look, let's get a gun so I can kind of show you better. There's going to be like that little thing, little rock sticking out. So you kind of want to make sure you're on kind of the outside of that, because if not, then your bunkers, you won't be able to fit through your bunker. So essentially, just want to kind of make it a little bit lower as well, so you're not getting too high, so you have enough room in your open core for a ton of boxes. So I'm going to kind of line it up something like that. It's a little bit farther on the outside, so let's try one more time. Something kind of like that. So it's a little bit closer now. And I'm just going to come all the way back with triangles now. I made this a little bit higher than you would really like, but I mean, it'll be fine in the end. So then you can come back here and delete that. And then you want to go all the way down until your triangle just about touches the rock. And then you're going to want to come and build out, but it's going to be 3 deep towards the back of the rock, and then just as many as you can fit across. And you just want to fill it out with squares as much as you can. And then you're going to come back and you're going to completely wall off each side of your rock. And now I'm going to upgrade straight to where it will be when you're done and like fully completed the god rock, but of course just kind of upgrade as you go. You can start off with stone at the beginning of the rock, and that's fine, but eventually you'll want all of these to be metal, and then these to be armored. If you have a corner spot like this, you can make it metal, because it'll make them so much from the back that it'll be fine. Doesn't need to be armored, so you can kind of save some upkeep on that. But you want to armor all of these, armor all of these, and on, let's see if I can get that, damn, on the original video that I saw, that I'll link in the description, he did sort of a roof bunker, like here, for TC. I've never really found that to be like great. It's kind of just annoying because you already have enough bunkers in the base, you know. So what I've always done whenever I build them is I just kind of make a little compartment like this, and you can kind of put like your 2-3 sulfur, boom, stuff like that in here, and then I'm just going to build it out just a little bit like this, and then you can make one mega loot room here, and another one over here. So you have plenty of loot space, and then you can go something like this. And like this. You can just put boxes however you like on these. I'll fill it out and probably do a walkthrough at the beginning to show, you know, exactly what it can look like, and I'll put a screenshot of an actual wipe I played. I've built this many times solo. So I mean, it's not too difficult. It's a decent amount of farming, it's not terrible. So come here to your bunker hole, and technically you could armor these foundations. It's not really gonna add anything to raid cost realistically, but you can do that if you want. And if you get anything like not in terrain on these corner ones, it's fine. They can't really fit through here once you have your walls up anyway. And now how I like to do your bunkers is you come back to the start, your starter, and you come and you place a wall as if you were going to place a triangle here. So you go ahead and place your wall, go to your triangle, and place that, and then you can start going down as you work your way down. If I can get it to snap there with squares. So this is what I was talking about before. You have to be kind of wary of if it has a rock like sticking out, so that you can make sure you fit through easily. I'll say that, but easily through. And so you're just gonna kind of want to work your way down. So that's 2 bunkers, 3, 4, 5, double check, and 6. So if you armor all these, that's gonna keep you safe from most groups, unless you're going something like a monthly or something like that. You should be fine. And so then I'm gonna want to go ahead and place. I like to place a frame there because there's gonna be a little bit of a gap, but you can put a wall there and just kind of seal this in somewhat. I normally just come up like this, but anyway, it's perfectly fine. These can be sheet metal. And then if you do have kind of a higher rock like this, yeah, just come back, and you can armor these or not armor these. I normally just sheet metal them, but for the sake of the video, I'll just armor. Then you'll come up and place your last one like that. Oh, and armor the frame, of course, but you want to armor that. So I'm gonna do that. And now when you break these, your walls seal. And now if you do have something like that, you can go and just place that. You can't place anything like that. You can do something like that. And so they can't get up here to splash. And then if we come back to the inside, you place your triangle there and it unseals. And that is the same for every single one of these. When I built this, the wall swipe that I built, I put those there because it was just a little bit easier. You can kind of, whenever you have them open, you can kind of skate along these to get through. These would obviously be twig, so we're gonna replace all of these with twig, just so you can kind of get the feel for just kind of get the feel for how the bunkers work. It's not a crazy uncommon design, but it's the strongest that I have found for a god rock, if you can claim one. So there you go. So just like this is your bunker hallway. It'll go back to your open core. And then on the original video that I found, he did it a little bit different on the front. He kind of made like an entrance and with some roofs and stuff like that, which it was fine. It didn't exactly give you much like mobility or anything like that if you're playing a longer wipe, because eventually you can fill up that open core. I have, and you're gonna need more loot room, and you can put some of your like less valuable stuff into the spaces up above or in front of your rock. So essentially how you finish it off on the front side is you just spam triangle honeycomb. It's nothing too crazy. You just kind of spam all this honeycomb, and a great thing that he said was that essentially for every one bunker is 2 sheet metal walls. So pretty much all you do is you just sit here and you just spam your honeycomb. Now when I build this on servers, I like to I'll leave my last bunker open, like the wall. I won't place a wall yet, and so you have a pathway into here. And so I'll just come up to the front, right up here to your entrance, and I will just I'll just place walls and go ahead and just completely seal it off. And then kind of as I get the materials, work my way back to filling this in, just so it's stronger. Now if you do have to raise any of your foundations like this, you're going to make sure you armor those, because if not, if you sheet metal them, they can splash the foundation. Then I'll make it 1 wall cheaper for every raised foundation that you have. So this is pretty much just self-explanatory. You kind of just spam triangle honeycomb all the way back. Okay, so we're back, finished off all of the honeycomb. So again, essentially it's just a bunch of triangle honeycomb all the way through, all the way up to the front, up to here. And after that's all said and done, now this is without doors, but I mean, doors are not going to have that much upkeep. It is 8,885 metal frags, 200 high qual, and then the wood is just for your bunkers. So after that's all done, or generally whenever I have the hallway finished, at least in metal, and I have this front part done, what I like to do is I'll go ahead and I'll place this honeycomb here, so I add another extra wall, and then I'll go here, and then you essentially just want to go triangle here. So you go triangle, triangle off the front, and then you go 7 squares out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you will delete this. So you're essentially just doing a wall stack. Ooh, and I fucking move that. You can place that back. And then you just go back with your halflings until you get to your wall stack. And this one's a little bit scuffed because of the terrain, so you have to do it raised. But normally you want to do it terrain or raised. Sorry. And then you'll go ahead and you just go ahead. I like to just fill that out in the front. And then normally I'll do something like dimensions are about there. You can do sheet metal all that, sheet metal that. You'll just build up like that, and you can do like anything you want here. You can do like a locker kit or a bedroom or whatever you want to do. There, I normally will have a bedroom somewhere else in the rock, and so I'll just do this. It's just like my main core. So I normally just build this up just like this, just as like some extra doors and some honeycomb. And then I'll come up here, and you'll just kind of want to fill this in. And you can do it on either TC, but I normally will keep it on the main TC. So that main TC upkeep is probably going to go up just a little bit. Not too crazy, just a little bit. Maybe up to about 9.3k, something like that, metal a day, which is, for the raid cost, is nothing. And then there we go. So yeah, so I pretty much just do that. Just you kind of have an external TC onto the front of it, and then I'll come here, Do that. And like that. So then kind of build out, and then normally I like to do something like that, and then I'll do like an exit there, an exit there, or something like that. And most of the time when I build these rocks like this, I will do some sort of auto sorter into the open core, so you can just kind of depot, and you can do sort of like some, if I can get them right, you can do like a from there, and you can do like depot boxes into your auto sorter from here, or again, if you fill up your open core, which it can happen, you can move some loot up there. So generally, and this rock's a little bit scuffed, so generally for me at least, I would do my, oh boy, my bedroom right up here. So you can just kind of do something like this, and you can fit a couple beds and a locker into this, or you could put in a hidden loot room or whatever you want to do, right here, right up here. Just put whatever you want in there. Let's see. So then here, I normally would just kind of fill this in as much as you can. Seal it all up. And now you kind of have like your little entrance into the rock, and you can put mixing tables or whatever you want in there. So now, after that's all done, I would come out a couple and put your external TC right here. This is generally how I like to build mine, because you can kind of, you can put armor door, window, and it's pretty expensive to they want to rate it. You can also just become it all the way in like this. But then what I really like to do onto my rocks, just to make it kind of more livable area and more room for like large furnaces or whatever you want to do outside of that, is I will put a little mini china wall, and I have done like a mega china wall and fully china walled in the rock before, and you can do that if you want. I've kind of shied away from it just a little bit, just because if it's expensive to upkeep and it really doesn't add much to your raid cost. You're better off just kind of better off just putting a compound around it, and you can put third pods or whatever you want around it. So normally we just come off here, and you can just kind of do a pretty easy kind of freehand little china wall onto your rock, and I would normally do like 2 exits on the other side of it, and then just kind of build this up, and I would normally do it about 2 high. So I'm just going to move forward just to make it a little bit. So I'm just gonna do something like this, and it's perfectly sealed. Obviously, it can jump up onto the rock, but you could do something sort of like Sort of like that, if you wanted to. And then you can kind of place all your floors down. Just like this. And again, you can do something like this if you want to. So, then you want to go ahead and get your, if I can find them, your metal barricades. And then just kind of start to place them out around. And if you have something like this, just place an extra triangle on the end. Some of this, you're just going to do something like that. And move it. These are sometimes a little bit tricky to place. Might have to place a square and so something like that. Oh, yeah, there you go. Took me a second, but you can kind of figure it out after a little bit. And then you just continue on placing your barricades all the way across. There you go. And there you go. So now you have a little bit of a courtyard, and you can do bedrooms, and you can fill this out and put peaks all around if you if you'd like. I normally just leave it a little bit more open. So you just kind of would go around something like this. Just place a couple pteropods. I would normally do it something like this, and then I'd do one pop it here, just to hold if anybody wants to try and come over the rock into your channel, and then I'll come onto the base and go ahead and place. Let me do at least 2 more onto the. So now you have that, and essentially the front of your rock is just all done. Make sure you place doors and everything onto it, but the front of the rock is pretty much done. So now for the back of the rock, it's similar to what you do on the front side. You kind of just do a wall step. So you're not, or most of the time you're not gonna be able to just go straight out 7. You're gonna have to kind of go like this, and then go in a little bit of a circle. So you just want to make sure that it's, just because you go to the side doesn't mean you went 1 forward. So it would be 1, 2, and then that's still 2. And so then you have 3, and if you need to go to the side again, it's still 3. That being said, you still just need to go out 7, and then you can make your way back with that half moon, and it'll work out fine. But anyway, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Start working your way back over your nice and stuck up right now. And you're just gonna kind of want to make your way all the way back, all the way to the back of the rock with these happenings. Now, you can make it go way far out and like build it all the way up onto the rock, but I would normally just stop about where the overhang goes, and then all your foundations can be metal like here. Just like that. And then towards the back, it's fine to do these in metal because more than likely they are not going to raid there. But then once you start getting more to the front, you want to make sure you're doing these armored. And if you do all of these front ones armored, it would end up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 armored walls from the back. So 7 times 15 is 105 from the back, but you can make that, exponentially more, depending on how far you want to build out with your honeycomb. And the way that I built my last rock is that I put a farm on the back of it, and that was just another layer, so it ended up being 9 armored walls through the back. So just kind of want to make sure you put all this in. And if you're running something like high quality or X-Scav or even just Ore Rig, it's not too hard to come up with enough high qual to fully high qual this backside. It's not too bad. Like I said, I've built this solo many a time. Fully built this solo, so it's not too bad. So just wanna come on out. Fill all that in, and then you can kind of go up here, make sure that's armored, and then if you have something like this, if I can get it, man, I can't even get it, damn. Yep, there we go. So, anyway, just come up here, and all that's fine. Just fill out this in, and back, just like that. On this side, this can be sheet. This is essentially a carbon copy of the original video that I saw for this design, but honestly, he's got it down pat. Like, this is essentially just the best way to go ahead and build out and honeycomb the backside of the rock. Just to make it very expensive to raid. So, now, all of this is on a separate TC from the main TC. So what I like to do is I'll come and do something like that, just in case you wanted to add another layer of honeycomb later on. And then I'll go straight out here, just until you have your external TC here. Your backside honeycomb is going to be about 2k frags and 200 high qual. I fully high qualled. I had a farm just like this, and just make a farm very easy, like here, little farm. And I believe my upkeep was 400 high qual with the farm and everything else fully upgraded to high qual. So it's not egregiously bad, all things considered, for how strong the base is. So that's pretty much it. Very strong base. Very strong base. If you hate getting offline like me, you know, this is probably the base you want to build. It's not super defendable during an online, but I had someone come and try to offline me and spent a box of rockets and got absolutely nothing. So very strong base. Very fun to build out of a rock. It's not, you don't have to sit there and farm all day just to build this big base that you know, want to fully build and fully defend and everything like that. It's a lot easier to just build a rock and just you know, run some oil, some XCAV, high qual quarry to get the high qual to build it, instead of just grinding your ass off farming nodes. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys built this base and don't get offline.